Imagine pulling off one of the biggest crypto heists in history, billions in stolen Bitcoin, money laundering schemes spanning years, and an FBI investigation that finally leads to a wannabe rapper? Yeah, this story is real, and it's one of the weirdest crypto crimes ever. Meet Heather Morgan, also known as Razzlekhan, self-proclaimed entrepreneur, writer, and rapper. She called herself the Crocodile of Wall Street, and she was arrested alongside her husband, Ilya Lichtenstein, for trying to launder $4.5 billion in stolen Bitcoin from the infamous 2016 Bitfinex hack. But how did we get here? And how did one of the biggest crypto busts in history end with cringe rap videos going viral? Let's break it down. In 2016, Bitfinex, one of the biggest crypto exchanges at the time, was hacked. The attackers stole 119,754 Bitcoin, worth about $72 million back then. But here's the thing, no one knew who was behind it. For years, the stolen Bitcoin sat in anonymous wallets, barely touched. Authorities were watching, but the hackers were careful. A lot of people assumed the stolen Bitcoin would be gone for good, hidden in the dark corners of the crypto world. However, the longer those Bitcoins stayed untouched, the more dangerous they became. The nature of Bitcoin means every transaction is visible on the blockchain, but tracing it back to its original owner is like finding a needle in a haystack. The idea was simple: hide it well enough so that no one could track where it went. But as time passed, tiny traces began to surface. Small amounts of Bitcoin started moving through various shady transactions, laundered through fake identities, shell companies, and even gift cards. It was a slow, methodical process, but the FBI was starting to connect the dots. The FBI followed the money, and by 2022, it led them to a New York apartment, and a couple that no one expected. At first glance, Heather Morgan and Ilya Lichtenstein seemed like your average tech couple. Lichtenstein was a tech entrepreneur, while Morgan branded herself as an expert in business and cybersecurity. But Morgan had a side hustle, one that made this entire case even weirder. She was an aspiring rapper under the name Razzlekhan, posting some of the most painfully awkward rap videos imaginable. She called herself the infamous Crocodile of Wall Street and rapped about being fearless, making money, and living like a king. The irony, she was literally sitting on billions in stolen Bitcoin. It wasn't until authorities dug deeper that they discovered their critical mistake. The couple had been storing private keys to the stolen crypto in a cloud storage account. Yeah, billions of dollars in stolen Bitcoin just sitting in an online document. When agents accessed the files, they found wallet addresses, transaction records, and a detailed plan on how they were laundering the funds. This was the breakthrough that the FBI had been waiting for. They could now directly trace the stolen Bitcoin to the couple's actions. But how did Lichtenstein and Morgan think they could get away with it? It's mind-blowing to think they thought storing such critical information in the cloud was safe, given the high-stakes nature of the crime. It was almost like they didn't consider the possibility that someone might be watching. In the world of cybercrime, the digital footprint left behind is often one of the most crucial pieces of evidence. Whether it's through an email, IP address, or something as simple as cloud storage, the FBI's forensic tech team was able to piece everything together. With that, the FBI moved in. The couple was arrested in early 2022, and the government seized over $3.6 billion in Bitcoin, the largest financial seizure in U.S. history. As soon as their arrest hit the news, the internet lost its mind, not just because of the crime, but because of Heather Morgan's rap career. Clips of her music videos started going viral, with people mocking her bizarre lyrics, awkward flow, and over-the-top persona. It was almost too surreal to believe. The person caught laundering billions was the same person rapping about being a fearless business queen. Even crazier, the actual hackers behind the 2016 Bitfinex attack are still unknown. Lichtenstein and Morgan weren't the ones who originally stole the Bitcoin, they just laundered it. After their arrest, the couple was charged with conspiracy to commit money laundering, which carries up to 20 years in prison. Morgan was released on bail, while Lichtenstein remained in custody. They later pleaded guilty, and the government recovered almost all of the stolen Bitcoin. But there's still one big question. Who were the original hackers? The mystery remains unsolved. Was it an inside job? Did they have help from others in the crypto world? Or was it just a team of highly skilled hackers who knew exactly how to cover their tracks? As for Morgan's rap career, well, let's just say she won't be dropping any new tracks anytime soon. It's wild to think about how someone who attempted to launder billions of dollars could be simultaneously creating a viral rap career that was, let's just say, more awkward than impressive. It's a perfect example of how things can get out of hand in the digital Wild West, where anything can happen, and it often does. This might be one of the strangest crypto crimes in history: a billion-dollar Bitcoin heist, an FBI sting, and a cringe rapper at the center of it all. It just goes to show, in the digital Wild West, truth really is stranger than fiction. And who knows, the next big heist might be even crazier than this one. Stay tuned.